Numbers are phenomenal. Let's just start with the numbers themselves. Where on earth did that growth in China come from?
I mean, look, that's, it's pent-up demand, and they're having success. I mean, iPhone 17, it's kind of, it's been sleepy, but actually a pretty huge upgrade cycle. I think you see in the numbers, obviously the stock reaction. Look, I'd say it's a yawner because investors are just so laser focused on AI, right? In other words, like how they're going to monetize, what's that strategy? Cook talked about it a little. But in terms of the actual numbers and services and iPhone, look, it was sort of a best case scenario. And I think now it's really about showing how they're going to monetize on AI. That's going to be their story for 2026.
Cost. We need to talk about cost as well. Something that typically doesn't come up, but it was anticipated this time around. Why are things getting more expensive?
Yeah, just memory, right? I mean, if you look at everything you see, SanDisk and what's happening on chips, it's supply, DRAM, pricing, everything that's happening across the board. Look, but our view is like ultimately when it comes to iPhone 18, like they're going to have to raise prices probably by $100, $150. So it's something that we worry about less from a margin perspective. But look, the reality is that this stock being $325, $350, or where it is today, it's not going to be because of margins, because of iPhone, because of server. It's about showing truly that they have an AI strategy that they're going to actually roll out that they can monetize.
Well, one of the big skepticism behind Apple and the reason why it's underperformed since December, since it hit a record, has been this question around, is it just an iPhone company? Has it been able to diversify in a meaningful way? Yes, you did see that $30 billion coming from services, but wearables, the Mac line, not seeing that same kind of growth. And I just wonder whether it's enough to just say that iPhone 18 is going to come out with some incredible AI innovation, and that's going to change the trajectory and some of the concerns that they can't move away from this one product.
Yeah, I mean, look, to your point, like the reality is like the core, the ingredients, the hearts and lungs of Apple are always going to be iPhone relative to as a percent of revenue. But I think their culture has definitely hurt them the last few years, especially because AI not doing acquisitions. Maybe they've done, like recently they've done one, a smaller one. But the problem is that investors, they're not going to give them credit, which speaks to our point. Like this is the year from Google to Siri to WWDC to rolling out. It's not going to be on the hardware side. It's going to be how they monetize subscription in AI for the 2.5 billion iOS devices.